going to turn it over to Rajdeep to kind of start that conversation of how we as members of our own community can kind of unite and help each other.
This is just a starter list. I'm sure in the course of the evening, all of us collectively can brainstorm about ways that we can show up and be of help to each other and to our neighbors and our friends, even outside the Desi community. I'll just lift up a few examples. There were some bad floods recently in California, as all of you know. The Sikh community there showed up in a big, big way by opening gurdwaras to people who were rendered homeless by the floods. Recently, there were some hate crimes directed against the Jewish community where tombstones at their cemeteries were desecrated and turned over. Muslim Americans showed up by raising money to restore those tombstones. And I want to lift up what was said on the panel earlier. This really resonates with me for what it's worth personally. I think we have to stop throwing other Desis under the bus. We need to show up for ourselves. We talk a lot about LGBT rights in this country, but what about LGBT rights in the Desi community? We talk a lot about women's rights. We were here at the Women's March, many of us, but I've read statistics indicating that upwards of 40% of Desi women are subjected to domestic violence. We talk about Black Lives Matter and the legacy of slavery. I read a statistic recently which was very striking, and the juxtaposition in particular is very striking. During the Jim Crow era, according to conservative estimates, around 4,000 African Americans were lynched during about an 80 to 100 year period. In 1984, in 2 days, 4,000 Sikhs were lynched on the streets of Delhi. And yet many Sikhs are told to just move on. And that implicates homeland issues. And we can go on and on about our contemporary politics in India, but I think if we're going to be progressive here at home, we have to be progressive through and through, even in the homeland, even in our homes, even our gurdwaras, masjids, and mandirs.